2 lobbies going simultaneously. We'll be watching kind of one of them, but if the player you want us to follow isn't in this lobby, you can go check them out. They're live right now. Use the Twitch Rivals extension to find a list of all the competitors who are live right now.
All right, starting off with one of the winners from yesterday. Uthenera starts with the Varus.
Chain vest.
Favorites, yeah. Chain vest, also a pretty good item if you're expecting a lot of assassins and physical damage teams.
Yeah. Wonder what else other people have. So also, they finally released some of the information around item drops and stuff early on, and like what kind of rewards you get. So if you get 1 gold initially, you have higher increase in gold every round if you get more gold each time, or if you start getting item drops, you get less gold. So it is weighted that way, where the more gold you get, you continue to get more because you're not getting an item.
Yeah, it's one of the corrections for trying to balance some of the RNG of items. Because people were complaining a lot. Some of these creep rounds, you wouldn't get any items at all, and it would feel super bad. But now you at least get a little bit of money. Demon's getting in here first for Uthenera. Still a strong opener, even though it was nerfed a little bit on 9.14, coming out to 25% now with just 2 demons.
Now, one thing I want to point out is this up in the top left, you'll see their score, and it has a money value. This is the amount of money they won on day number 1. That number does not affect, though, their standings for today. They do start back at 0, and this number will actually decrease when we go into game number 2. Right now, it would just say 0 otherwise. So you can kind of see how well they did in day number 1 from there.
Yeah, and he did the best. So even though he and JoshOG both won their respective groups, Uthenera won his by a lot more in the morning. Number 1 top money earner of the entire tournament so far. And it affects your wallet at least, even though it doesn't affect your standings for today.
Yeah, it's always a question of what do you value more. And, you see him staying away from Knights a lot there. I was kind of surprised to see him hold on to the Varus and not pick up the Darius or anything to go with the Garen he had. He gave up on that completely, keeping himself more open for Demon and Shapeshifter and Wild.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of holding on to any brawlers that you get early too, because brawler bonus with flat health is super good early on. You know, it works really well on even level 1 units if you can collect a bunch of them. So the Warwick's down on the bench. 2 of them looking to try and get a level 2 unit is your highest priority here in the very beginning.
Yeah, I mean, that's what makes that brawler bonus so nice, is it kind of artificially makes them a level 2. I had 4 brawlers yesterday, and 3 of them were technically 1 star or, you know, the bronze level units. But once you have 4 brawlers, they get 700 extra HP. They're all at 1500 HP. It's like, that feels like I have a ton of 2-star units in the game.
All right, first PvP round. Let's see what he's got. He's got 2 cost units, even though they haven't been upgraded yet. And he does put in the ninja. A single ninja is kind of like demons from Auto Chess, where they get the bonus. It's going to be 40% extra damage on that Shen. And they did recently buff Shen too. You can see he starts with a lot of mana, so he can get his dodge zone off. The ultimate ability will be cast here right after Pike stuns.
Ooh, big. It's going to negate all the damage right after it. So he should be able to win after that. I think the Zed was the Shen was a much better choice than the Lulu would have been, who can have difficulties getting her ult off early.
Yeah, we talked a lot about ninjas over the days because all the individual ninjas have gotten buffs over the last couple of patches. Shen was one of the most recent ones to get buffs. And they're very good as single units, but also very good as an end-game composition. If you get all 4, then they all get bonuses as well.
So JoshOG was the guy who was winning in the other group. You see him got 2 Aatroxes already, as well as some Knights. So he's setting up for potentially some kind of Blade Master start. General. Oh, we'll go just right over to JoshOG. I love holding Aatrox. He's one of the best units in the game now, so if you see an Aatrox, that should be a pretty clear indication to just grab him right away. And if you do find him, it's still early enough in the game that you can go back and grab Fioras and Shens and hit some early Blade Masters.
Yeah, it looks like he's also got an early level up here. He's bought up to level 4. You can purchase experience if you don't have very good options in your shop, as you can see in the bottom. Also, since he has a strong start with Aatrox and a level 2 Garen already, he wants the win streak.
And it was really important that he actually did level up there, because the Evelynn dodged out of the big Aatrox ultimate, and if he didn't have an extra unit in there, he probably lost that. So you get to see his early level up getting rewarded instantly.
Another level 2 Knight here. So he's got the 2 Knight bonus, blocking 20 damage each, I believe, for Garen and Darius on the front, plus Pike for the stun, and big Aatrox damage. So already a super strong opener. And I would expect him to continue to spend money aggressively to keep this win streak going, because this definitely looks like an early start that you can have a long win streak with.
Yeah.
Fun fact about JoshOG, his dog shares the same name as the elemental that gets summoned, Daisy.
Really?
Yep.
It's kind of crucial.
The dog often gets summoned when he wins because he backs up and shouts, and the dog thinks that's something exciting.
Daisy's not pulling her weight. She's got to be there the whole time. But I like a lot of the decisions that he's making. I would grab that Fiora, most likely. We'll see if he wants to sell the 20, and he does. Both those work. This is less of a commitment to that Blade Master strategy, so I can understand, given that his Knights are strong as well, that you don't want to hold onto that gold and take forever if you miss the next Aatrox upgrade.
Yeah, it's one of the big choices in this game. Do you want to hold champions in inventory, on your bench there for a possible big power spike to continue winning? Like, if he could get that Aatrox off the carousel, you see the one spinning around with a sword, that would be double Aatroxes, and I think his other one had a needlessly large rod, so that would auto-combine into a Hextech Revolver, or the Gunblade, which is one of the best items for Aatrox. So he could have a level 2 Aatrox. Oh, Scar's gonna take it anyways.
Well, he also sold the one to get above it, so it didn't work. But you can actually hold your unit before a carousel round to see if you need to sell off. You don't need to sell it instantly because you go to the carousel round first, and you can jump back to that screen at your own bench and sell it there. But either way, he wouldn't have gotten that because Scarra wanted the sword. So
Here you can see in the middle the stats of the other players that are in this lobby. They're cycling through. And these are the day 1 stats. These are stats from yesterday's show. What's most interesting to me is the most picked class and most picked origin.
Really? Because they all just say assassin ninja.
No, I mean, the one we just saw, GNGG, the Russian player was not ninja assassin, so I believe you had brawlers in there and something else. Ooh, Amaz, also early leveling.
Airwas just hosted GN. Thanks so much, Airwas.
And I like this. He's got Gunslingers kind of off the ground. He already has Curse Blade, which is probably the best item in Gunslingers. And he's working on most likely a Red Buff or a Swordbreaker after that. So
Trist, 2v1. Can he do it?
It's kind of close. One more bomb. Oh. TFT Deepmine, who was one of the highest ranked players on PBE, actually has Tristana listed as an S tier unit for him and one of the best units in the entire game, given that it's only a 1 cost, and he highly values the Gunslinger. So something we didn't see that much yesterday, and I wonder, if we'll actually see him stick to this Gunslinger path, given that the Lucian also is already upgraded.
It's pretty funny looking at tier lists right now from everyone who's top players, and they're so different actually, even just from all the people that were even in top 20 on BBE.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of very widely varying opinions. And we saw actually yesterday there were some lobbies where so many people would go for Tristana and Gunslingers that no one would get to the level 3, and we have benches full of like multiple 2-star Tristanas. Here we go though with the Cursed Blade. Can he do some more work? He's lowered the stars of everybody. It looks like he's getting a win on this one.
Still hunting for just one more pirate. He has the Graves already on his bench. He has a 2-star TF in the game.
Yeah, he's not picking up any ninjas here, and this is one of the ones where we saw in the stats card, ninjas, assassins was not one of his most played compositions from yesterday. So it looks like he's still going to stay away from it. Passes up on the Zed and stuff there. So he's probably going to continue with this Gunslinger path. I like it since the early level 2 Lucian and Tristana do have a lot of power.
Yeah, it's also the kind of thing where you're probably, even without needing to scout, going to assume that there's at least some ninja and assassin players elsewhere in the game.
Always scout, never assume, Mark.
You should always scout, but you can, for that one, most likely assume. He's starting to do some scouting now during the creep round, maybe to see how contested Tristanas are. Does he want to maybe go for a reroll strategy to try and find a 3-star Trist if it's open?
Gold! Krug Gold! He's got 4 out of that one.
Got him an extra economy point. Got him above 20, which he wasn't going to be able to do. So, you know, everyone wants items, but the gold can sometimes actually be pretty influential as well.
Yeah, Adam's definitely king in this game. And he's sitting with the lone chain vest still on Tristana. Could be a red buff. He really wants a Giant's Belt. That's one of the things that you're looking for. So while 4 gold does get you an extra interest point, the number 1 item he was hoping for off those Krugs would be the Giant's Belt, because red buff is an on hit, and those gunslingers we talked about, 50% chance to get an extra hit on another target, so you could apply that red buff burn and healing cut to 2 people with gunslingers, which makes it really, really strong.
So one of the things I was seeing yesterday on a number of these players' streams when they, you know, were still grinding some games in ranked was a lot of early lockets. I saw a lot of streamers talking about the value of early locket. It's 1500 HP once you get 5 units in there, and it becomes very hard for a lot of units and comps at that point to punch through all that extra HP, and it does drop off later in the game, but people like to use it for some early aggressive snowballing, and Crip putting that on his pike, you can see how much of a shield that gives to a lot of those units.
And you can see he's already got a 3 win streak down there with the little fire icon by his gold. So you want to continue to snowball that, right? That's the whole idea behind these early locket stackers, is using, because it's a flat value of a shield that doesn't really scale, using it to get those early win streaks to make that money and keep your health total very high.
Stuff interests me, and then I can level. I think that's the plan. Another thing I can do is put the belt on Nidalee, because I know I'm going to sell her and put her in over Kazakhs.
Deciding between the Nidalee and the Kazakhs.
That's actually really hard.
I like Kazakhs more because he's already got the assassin buff. And
exactly.
Early on, Kazakhs can get a lot of isolation kills. He decides the same thing, switches the belt over to Kassadin instead.
It's one that's pretty close. If you had wild buff, I would lean towards the Nidalee, but given the synergy already for the assassins, this is probably better, and able to take out the other assassin player with that locket helping out, though the Spear Stojan pike is pretty gnarly.
Yeah, I mean, plus Crip feels really nice. He's got all these level 2s super early on. A bunch of level 2 assassins is going to steamroll along with a locket.
I feel like new players can kind of miss this, that it's a little unintuitive that putting out 2 Kazakhs, like, it doesn't help you hit the next level of assassins. It feels like, oh, so why would I put out 2? But both of them get the buff, and having more units that are using the buffs that you have is important.
Yeah, it's only unique champions that influence synergies, and so if you have 2 Shens out there, they actually still get the ninja buff, both of them. It's not like you actually have 2 separate ninjas out, which is when you would lose it. So it works both ways, where sometimes it hurts, where it's like, oh, I thought I put 3 assassins out. It's like, well, 2 of them are the same. It can also work in your favor if you're smart around things like ninja.
All right, Amaz, working with some knights here. He's got 4 knights. Now, you're talking about the unique champions. The Poppy also counts as a knight, so he had 4 knights in there. They block a lot of damage. It's not going to be enough to block versus all these assassins, though. Darius doesn't get the heal off.
That feels so bad if he just spun.
Yeah, the health on those last 2, the Zed and the Rengar, both survived to deal some more damage to him. Give him a little chunk.
He was doing quite well before that, though. Despite that damage he just took, he's still in 3rd place, so you can see the early knights, you know, maybe beginning to get outscaled at this point in the game, but did a good job of getting him and keeping him healthy.
I mean, it's still so early in the game, too. Talk about outscaling.
I consider this part like mid-game, honestly. TFT is such a fast-paced game. You know, by the time you're hitting these levels, Crip was talking about his strategy. He was saying he was going to level on the next interval, which was that fight, which would put him at level 6. By the time you're level 6, you know, you're starting to get close to hitting a lot of your main comps.
What's he looking for? Takes the spatula. Definitely one of the most interesting items in the game. Let's see, he could go for 6 knights. Generally, 6 knights is really poor to go for just by collecting all the knights, because the individual units aren't going to give you a lot of damage. But the bonus doubles from blocking 40 damage to blocking 80 damage on everybody that is a knight once you get to 6, and a spatula combined with Chain Vest does make any other unit a knight, so you can put it on a range unit usually, your big carry, and make your big carries just as tanky as your knights.
And a lot of the late game knights are very strong. Sejuani is very strong. Kale is super strong, so you can use that Mord 1 that he's using right now to kind of, you know, get you to that point so you have 4 knight, but then you're going to eventually remove him, and like you're saying with that spatula, you can turn any other late game carry into a knight. It's not super strong versus assassins because they do such large chunk damage, but against things that focus on multiple auto attacks like a gunslinger or rangers and those kinds of things, even blade masters, like 80 flat damage off is a lot more than armor generally will do. So it can be really disgusting against fast auto attacks.
Yeah, the big crits are still going to hurt. But
Yep.
looks like JoshOG is going to be too much for Amaz. Takes him down as well. Starting to build up the lose streak then. There you go.
Yeah, you just got to pivot your
Got
game
2 in a
plan.
row.
Ooh, does get offered a Draven though, which fits pretty nicely. That's one of those units you would love to make into a knight late game and get the Imperial buff with a Darius.
Yeah. And he already had those 6 Dariuses. You could see the 2 level 2 Dariuses. So if he commits to getting a level 3 Darius and goes Imperials with that off that Draven, we'll check back in later to see how his Imperial building goes.
Ibai was on a bit of a losing streak, and he just turned around with that win. Only had 20 goals, so you got to imagine he kind of went all in to get here and built himself a bit of a Guardian Demon comp.
Extra armor here goes a long way on the front line.
The Morgana got her ult off.
The double cannons, both of them big ults, and Leona with the ultimate on the side finishes up the kill for him. I like the damage meters that have been added on the side, by the way. You can see Kennen top DPS there with the 3 items. It also takes into account your item DPS. Ionic Spark is the one on the end. Super good item to rush early on. Because again, it's another flat damage item. Whenever enemies cast their ultimate, they take 200.
Yeah, it can really punish some of like the fast casting units too. Like a Lucian on against the Ionic Spark will just kill himself in the first couple dashes that he does early game. So it can be very, very potent.
Now, wolves all have assassin AI, so they'll jump at you. Your units won't move because all of the assassin wolves are invisible. So you basically just want to surround yourself with the tanky units on the outside, and generally should be okay versus wolves.
Yeah, even though his Varus is exposed, there's only 1 space open to his left, so at most 1 wolf can jump in there and start attacking him. Plus the armor on him means he's very safe.
Assassins also jump to opposite ends of the board, so since they always start in the upper right for wolves, they'll always jump down to your left side of the map if you want to change it.
Ooh, wait, he has Elementalist here. He can easily transition. That was
Double
very good shop.
So level 6 is the earliest time that you want to start spending money to reroll because you get 7% extra to try and find these 4-cost units. And he actually hits 2 brands. That's perfect because it's Demons and Elementalists, both of which he's building right now.
And then a stacked Kennen with Ninja.
Yeah, and he's still keeping the Guardian pieces. I like that he didn't give up on the Guardian part of his plan just because this is stronger right now. You're realistically, unless you're going to actually go Sorcerer, not going to hold on to that Kassadin. And so he can put those back in maybe later when he has a couple more levels to fit things into his comp.
Also, no reason to sell now. He's going to win this one, so you get +1 gold instantly when you win a match, and that hits him up to 30, you can see. You got an extra gold generator on the left side of your screen, so he's going to have 3 gold interest next turn, even without selling.
That feels so good.
Oh, yeah.
Go into a fight, 1 gold down, and max efficiency.
He's got to be feeling confident after the brand pickups here. If he finds another one for an early level 2 brand, that's actually going to be insane.
Yeah.
It's interesting placement here where he's got the double lines. Morgana, Kennen, and Kassadin all do want to be towards the front line. Kennen and Morgana both have these AoE around them ults that are centered on themselves.
General is in that Ninja Elementalist camp that we were seeing a lot of people go for.
Classic.
Yeah.
Elementals are so good early because even though they're level 1s, you see with the brand there, the Daisy comes out is going to have the same stats no matter what level your Elementalists are, and it's really amazing tank early on.
Yeah, Elementalists are...
Scarra! Oh, he gets chunked.
Ouch, Scarra in a ton of trouble. You see General did go all in to get to this point, so he is going to start reaping the rewards with a win streak. And the Elementalists are so good because it's almost a comp by itself. You get Daisy for disgusting frontline, Ninja on your Kennen to do a lot of physical damage, as well as a lot of magic damage from the ultimates. So it's this nice kind of complete comp that only takes 3 units to build. And then it scales super well as well.
Bekletiyorum parayı bakalım.
Man, I wouldn't mind seeing what Scarra does. He's at 8 health now. He still has 50 gold. And he's
Wait, it looks like he has nobles.
He's in nobles.
He's got full nobles. Rarely seen composition because it relies on getting the Kale. And we're actually so early in the game. He did find a Kale for all 6 nobles. The biggest problem that nobles usually run into is finding enough damage. He's trying to get it through a Morello's on the Garen, as well as the extra ranger there in
Everything
Ash
is
on the
1-starred though.
Kale carry, noble bonus. It gives you a bunch of armor, by the way, and 35 health on attack for every single unit on the board once you get all 6.
It's very strong, but magic damage does not care about that armor, so stuff like the Cho'Gath Rupture is going to punch right through it.
Level 1 Garen with Morello's versus the world.
Oh no, Scarra!
Oh, and he the first one out?
Yeah.
Oh, Scarra bites the dust early on day 2.
Unfortunate. A lot of those were bronze units still. He couldn't find upgrades after rolling down. Probably found the Kale and kind of like went back to nobles.
I too have fallen into that trap.
Yeah, there's just not enough damage in that comp, and you do fall prey to a lot of magic. So.
Yeah, so that's one of the things with this game is balancing the power of upgraded units, you know, the 2-star or 3-star being the silver and gold units, versus the synergies that you get. And can't sacrifice too much.
So here is our other game that's going on. Here's the health bars, as it is the last time we checked in. Right now, wtcn up on top. Reckful and Super JJ in our top 3. It's been a decently even game here, it seems. Kind of like a normal curve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like the one we're watching is a lot faster paced of a lobby, given that 2 people are almost dead. 1 already is.
Yeah, Crip is really dealing a lot of damage to people, by the way. So some lobbies like this one that we're watching, if the first place person has a good enough start, then a lot of the rest of the game is everybody else hoping not to get matched versus Crip is the example this time around, because it's going to be a big loss and a big chunk of damage. Amaz, he's lucky. He does not get Crip. He also got a ghost board, it looks like. Phantom board, because Scarra is the only one out. There's an odd number of people, and one person will randomly get matched against the Phantom board, which has no synergies and should be a win for him.
Crip with that early level plan really working out for him. But he is.
You sound so sad.
I'm like, sad because he's Ninja Assassin. There's nothing that cool to talk about. It's like, yeah, the guy, he played really well with Ninja Assassin. Okay.
He went Locket early for it.
Yeah, no, we already talked about the Locket plan and all that.
He's trying to go voids, man. He's just got to find the last Cassidin. You know?
But I don't care about the other stuff as much.
All right.
Damage.
He doesn't really care about the rest of the spots. You can tell that, you know, the Starks and the Locket are on different champions, so he's trying to get both bonuses on multiple people. Good thing about Assassins, you can just line everybody up on the back line, because the Assassins are all going to be invisible, and then you want your melees on the back anyway to draw the other team out.
Yeah, and making sure that at least 3 of the ninjas are getting the buff from the
This
Starks
is really good for Ibai. He got a great daisy spawn behind him with his elemental placement. And Ibai is able to deal the loss to him. I wonder if that was intentional. There's so many people left in this lobby, but Ibai put his elementalist on the back line and got a back line daisy spawn, which tanked the Kazakhs.
We saw him doing that actually earlier when we were in his POV. You know, we saw that he had that kind of weird frontline, backline, nothing in the middle strategy to get that daisy spawn, most likely.
Insanely smart right there for the positioning, as well as, you know, Lucky getting an assassin board here, because there's so many people still left alive.
I mean, I think that is one of the hardest questions about Teamfight Tactics is like, what do I position against when it's random when I'm going to play against? And I think the proper answer is position against whatever is the strongest comp right now that you know.
Assassins!
People are going, yes.
Well, who's the #1 guy? Who can I beat without perfect positioning, and positioning against the person who's the biggest threat to you is always important, as well as how many of those boards you got to kind of play the odds. If there's one assassin player who's doing well and then there's like 6 rangers, like, okay, probably don't position for the assassin guy, even if he is the strongest.
Because Daisy is such a big part of it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you're playing a front-to-back team and you have your Daisy in the back, she'll be useless, and you basically lose out on most of the value of your Elementalist synergy.
Man, he got the level 2 brand and he found the 5-cost Elementalist.
Yeah, Anivia here. It feels so good when you get to replace the Lissandra with Anivia, because Lissandra, very, very weak units, basically used for the tags, the Elementalist tag and Glacial tag. So putting Anivia in there is going to make them a lot stronger as well.
The only time you keep a Lissandra over a Kennen is if you are deeper in Glacials, but as you see, he doesn't really have that many. Having to prefer the demon synergy for his kind of like auto attack CC.
He is thinking about it though. He's got the Braum and Sejuani on the bench.
Yeah, but I think we'll see. He might be leaning towards removing them now, but the Assassin's got the better of him this time. Daisy looked like it spawned in front.
He changed his positioning once again, but this time around, Uthenera is another Assassin player, and he's actually a bit stronger with the Ghost Blade on Kennen. I think Uthenera's got the 6 Assassins. When you see that, those are the plus 350% crits. So he gets a lot of one-shots. That Asol, that thing gets crit, it's dead. That Anivia, that thing gets crit, it's dead. Any sort of 1-stars will go down so fast.
Interesting. Does complete the Kindred. There's a Phantom. Oh, okay.
Kindred 2 is one of the only things that can save a backline versus 6 Assassins if the Kindred gets its ult off.
The concern, though, without Ranger or mana items on him is it's very difficult for one to get his ult off. So we'll see if he can do it. This is against Amaz, who ended up finding the swing. He was starting to move out of that Knights that we were talking about earlier. He actually made a Force of Nature and went for Imperials.
And this is the danger. Daisy spawns on the left, so IbaaiL's Daisy didn't tank a lot.
And here you see the Kindred finally drops his ult kind of after the fight's already over. And this,
he won with it.
Draven's going to carry.
Anivia!
Draven's got the in the wrong place.
That is a 3-item stack to Draven with the rapid fire, giving it extra range so Draven doesn't have to drop any axes.
It's only a 1-star too, so Amaz can get even scarier now. He does get the Imperial buff 100% of the time.
Still messing around with his positioning. Takes out the other Morgana to get the Sorcerer.
Yeah, he didn't put a unit and just kind of fell into it. Here we see, this feels like the signature JoshOG. Every time we see him in one of those victory clips popping off, it's a volley bear.
He definitely loves his Volibear. This one's not that big of a carry right now, just with Titanic isn't a bunch of extra damage. It is going to be pretty strong with the Brawler bonus, though, that gives you flat extra health, 700 extra on every Brawler. See if that's going to be enough for him to take down Uthenera.
You also get you see that giant spread? It's because Titanic procs off all those chains as well. So it is quite good still, but it doesn't give him any sustains. So you saw him still die there.
Zed has a Dragon Claw, immune to magic, but the Morello's burn would work, and Rek'Sai just punching him would have worked, but he got crit.
Bigger than us.
Stays alive, though. Did enough to have Amaz get knocked out. That Imperial plan not quite coming together.
Getting down to the exciting portion here. Everybody extremely low. This
he
is
had a locket.
One of the final carousel rounds.
He had a spatula, so he's going for the 5-cost spatula on the Karthus there. So he'll get a lot of gold and extra unit to put in now.
2 spatulas makes a Force of Nature, allowing you the extra one, and he's already level 8, so that's going to be 9. But let's see, he had the 4 Brawlers and 3 Assassins.
I'm not sure.
I wonder what else he can actually get in there. Probably wants to get at least. He had the Sejuani for 2 Glacial.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his uncompleted synergies right now, it's a Knight and a Pirate, which you don't really want either of those. So I think you're just looking for a strong unit to put
Honestly, the Karthus that it was on
would be one of the better units.
Is a pretty strong one and could sit in the back line since he has so much beef on the front line. But he sells it.
Might also kind of work. I almost think an Aatrox is, the best thing you can find.
Ooh, it doesn't even give him demons or anything.
Gave up on Rek'Sai 3. He sold both.
The Karthus that he sold, I think, was the best option.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if he can do it. He's got IbaaiL's Ghost board right now. This is just a Phantom board.
So he should be okay.
Yeah, so you can tell no Daisy comes out because it's a Phantom board, so synergies are not applied. But he gets annihilated by the Kennen Ultimate Volibear carry.
The Volibear carry?
Ooh. Oh, that's closer than you want.
He might actually still die. Oh my God, he died to the Phantom Board. No!
Oh, he sold the Karthus and had the level 1 Aatrox, which isn't really going to provide any damage. Goes down. We're down to our top 3 now. Crip also dropped out of number 1 while we weren't looking. Uthenera's taken over with the 6 assassins.
Yeah, this is a pretty gnarly comp. 6 assassins. He turned Kennen into assassin as well. Turned Akali into a demon to get demons with Evelyn.
Those spatulas doing work.
Yeah, very good usage of them.
Plus he's able to get, with the extra Ghost Blade you see on the Kennen, it's
Pike
a lot
upgrade.
easier to get the 6 assassins and the 4 ninja bonus. So you can turn the extra one into it. And Kennen is usually the ninja that you want to turn into assassin between him and Shen, since he's higher level and he jumps in to get the Kennen better placement for the ultimate.
The Kindred ultimate's going to drop here. He's actually going to get it off in time, so this could be huge for Ibai.
Definitely a big denial right there. That's what we're talking about. The Kindred ultimate allows Ibai to survive versus assassins. It's one of the only things that can protect you.
I'm on the Ibai train. You got 2 dirty ninja assassin players in the game. I want Ibai to clutch this one out.
I told you, Mark, the Kindred saves him.
You're right.
All right, so while we're in the top 3 here, we can go check in with a 70-30 look here of the other lobby, looking at Becca, which she's actually got she has her damage up, so I can't see what the health bars are.
Unfortunate timing, but she is
Look at that
Shapeshifter Wild
Dragon.
Dragon.
That is a 3 Sojin Ace Soul.
How many ults is that? 3?
Chain casting, it takes 2 autos. Oh, the Ace Soul clutched it. No reaction from
Show us the
Becca.
health.
Hey, everyone is locked in. This is day 2.
This is Championship Wednesday, man.
Thursday,
whatever day it is. We do a lot of Twitch rivals here, man.
Just use the numbers for the days.
All right, so we're back. He picked up a Runan's Hurricane. Probably going to be best on your Akali, you would think?
The Kali's level 1 right now. He could upgrade it, but Zed is also 1 away from level 3. So you definitely want to put it on your highest level. Level 3 over the level 1 Akali, but he's not able to upgrade either of them.
Yeah, I think Crip got a Shojin off his dragon. I'm not quite sure what Ibai got.
And that demon Akali.
So it does apply your on hits. So the Akali would apply the demon to the second Hurricane proc.
Luckily he's got a Phantom board, so I want to see what's going on if we can hop over. Here we go, Crip's perspective. Can he take out the Kindred? He did look like he killed the Kindred right away, but
Daisy tanking on the other side. Not a lot
nice
of
rupture.
Damage left, and it is going to be the victory.
Ibai should live.
Barely.
Whew.
4K damage from his Akali, going to be the star of this comp so far. Even though he's got a 3-star Kha'Zix, the 1-star Akali did 2K more damage. It looked. Oh, it's just a miss allocation there on the timer,
right?
Or on the side. It's actually the 2-star Akali.
Yeah, it maybe got Curse Blade or something. It can sometimes lead to some wonky stuff happening. Ibai is against 2 assassin players, so I wonder what he could do for his board positioning. If he could do something where you completely reverse your front line and back line, and you actually put all your damage units behind, or I guess technically in front of your casters.
And here's what you want to do if you're Ibai. You want to put your Morgana forward to mana burn the Cho'Gath. Looks like the Morgana might not be able to get it. Let's see. Kassadin is over there to distract.
Pretty good Daisy spawn, but
it's actually really good for Ibai.
Kindred's not going to ult, though. If Kindred gets the ult, he's okay.
Oh, the Rengar gets killed in the jump. So there were multiple things that were so good for Ibai. His Kassadin on the left is the distraction unit. That immediately got killed, and then they all went onto the Daisy.
Yeah.
Allowing plenty of time for the DPS to survive.
Put it back
Positioning is so important right now.
I think he should put it back in the corner. I think he could also swap his Kennen and his Anivia. Your Kennen, you kind of want to be one of the first things getting hit after the Kassadin. He's thinking about moving the Kennen around. Does he want to put it over?
You really have to have the Kennen survive to ultimate.
You want it to ult, but you want it to get it through taking a little bit of damage, hopefully not getting... That's the problem. Oh, he luckily gets the Phantom board. So we actually have one of the assassin players going to knock each other out here.
All right, who wins? Void Assassins?
Ooh, nice Shen dodge. That's actually huge for Crip.
Yeah, the Cho'Gath ult didn't hit very many people. It's going down.
Uthenera feels like he's in trouble trying to run away from the damage. See if you can get...
See if he gets crypto body blocked for him.
Yeah, maybe you can redirect the shots.
I mean, it also, you try and delay till the damage hits in case another person in the lobby goes out at the same time, but not going to be the case this time around. Ibai versus Crypt.
Sword for Shojin on Pike.
Right. So you hear him there say he grabbed that for a Spear Sojin on the Pike. Ibai going for the tier, I think he's going to want to put that on the Kindred to get the ult up a little faster. So I like both item choices a lot from the players.
All right, is he going to change positioning at all? Ibai's been really good about moving around.
Oh, he actually puts it on the brand to complete an item.
A little bit later.
I mean, the tier, I don't see Brand getting multiple ults off versus an assassin team.
It's just to get closer to your first one, to get extra mana on him, but it feels like the more impactful ults are things like the Kennen and the Kindred.
And it's fully stacked.
Yeah, so that's,
Finally.
All right, Morgana
more
3.
He's been one away from that for so long.
Oh, bad Daisy spawn. Daisy's just running around.
He needs the mana burn on the Cho'Gath.
Kennen, nice ult.
Cho'Gath's gonna get his ult off unless.
Here's a big Morgana ult though. Oh my god.
Level 3 Morgana. Comes
that
in
it?
clutch.
You should have this here. Stunned up.
Oh, Ibai, what a win. The level 3 Morgana he got at the very end.
Definitely clutched it for him. You saw how much damage it did once all the assassins started collapsing around it.
This was talking about at the beginning of the day, with so many people playing the ninja assassins, starting to see some answers come up.
Yeah, like triple lock it.
All right, looks like Becca, we were watching earlier, came in third. Now we have Super JJ up against Reckful.
Yeah, heads up. 4 ninja, 3 demon, 3 assassin with triple locket.
Those are 300 for every single one of those locket shields. So it's going to be 900 on all of those units.
Yeah, 4,500 total extra HP dumped on through that against another assassin player.
Possible. I don't know. Don't know if that here works the correct way here.
All right, this is a non-assassin upgraded Kennen, so it's just going to walk forward. It's in pretty good placement for the ult. Goes down.
Here's the Morgana ult, pretty big. Can the
Crit's
3-star
coming through.
Zed carry?
The Akali with the Dragon's Claw PD. Tank items are super underrated on carries, by the way. Akali already has really good damage output. If you just make the Akali survive with the magic immunity of Dragon Claw and then the dodging of crits with your Phantom Dancer, that protects you against both magic and physical damage.
The other thing Reckful has is a Draven who was turned into an assassin with a Katarina. So he gets the Imperial bonus as well as just how strong Draven is already. The crits are so big. Helped carry that last fight as well.
All right, more Ninja Assassin gameplay. Let's see here. This is actually 3 demons, though, with the Aatrox as well stacked up. Gonna get the big ultimate.
Did he get the Zephyr placement correct? I think he Zephyr'd the Draven.
Morgana ult's gonna get like 4 people. Annihilates them all.
Actually, I think that was so good by JJ. He might
Akali
still be in trouble, though.
with the defense clutch it again.
Kennen might be able to carry this with some autos if he doesn't get... Oh, my God. A second ult, though. The stun. He missed. He crit and missed the last one.
Well, yep. So, yeah, Phantom Dancer turns your 25% chance to crit into 25% chance for the attack to miss and do 0 damage. Clutches it in the end.
So the other thing that's super important here is seeing if they react to that Zephyr positioning. He did still lose the round, but he was really close to winning, and maybe he wants to actually Zephyr the Akali next time. I think he's waiting to see where anything gets moved around, and he should... So what happens with Zephyr is it mirrors the board. It will specifically target the position.
You see the indicator there.
Yeah, you get this little tornado indicator. So he moved it forward to try and snipe the Akali, I believe. We'll see what he went.
Or Draven. I think Draven would be a good option.
One of those two. Yeah, he got the Draven.
I have one extra slot then, huh?
All right. The Morgana is such a big problem for all these assassins,
oh my God.
though. All right, Akali versus Akali.
Oh.
And the carries take it once
Oh
again.
my God,
Reckful.
he's still alive. But yeah, you just see there's just too many threats for the Zephyr to really work out.
And again, that Akali I'm talking about, 8,000 damage done, by far the most, with 2 defense items.
Even if I lose, I don't care. It's all
Fair.
I'm winning right now.
Reckful's having such a good time right now. Double Swains, too. Oh my goodness.
That attack speed's so big. I mean, we're talking about all these other items, the defense and whatnot, but the double Starks giving attack speed to both your Akali and Draven is so huge for assassins.
Can he get the Swain in somehow? I mean, you would have to
give up on Ninja to get Imperial, which I don't think is better.
He could switch the Draven.
Oh, he's doing it.
Oh, he's getting it in. Still has a 6 assassins, level 1 Rengar, full Imperial. He just won the last round and he's gambling with
He doesn't care. This is, I respect it.
That's what he said.
And he sold it too. He didn't just pull them off for a round.
There's no going back.
There's no going back. He is all in on the 2-star Swain.
Oh, the Swain is
He got mana burned.
Oh, he said he didn't care, and he's going for it. Akali, you can still do this.
Uh-oh.
No! He's thrown it all away!
No, Byron!
No, he's still alive.
He's still alive, and he can reroll, but I don't know what upgrades
there's no
he can
going
find.
back, though, because he sold everything.
He can find a Rengar upgrade, and that's it, really.
Oh, the level 2 Swain was too enticing.
It's statistically the highest win rate, Kobe.
He said it on his stream. He doesn't care if he loses because of it. He's going for it. He's got the level 2 Swain in there.
You gotta respect it.
All right, now he's got to rebuild. We must rebuild. He's got to level up that Rengar.
So to be fair, he did get mana burned on his Swain and it didn't transform last round. It's hard to say if he's actually weaker for the transformation just because mana burn's a lot more important on Swain than an assassin.
Yeah, but the extra assassin.
Ooh, he sniped it with the Zephyr again. Really great positioning by JJ.
Well, maybe he'll survive.
Yeah, that delays Swain charging up mana in the first place. You can see it's going to be a long time.
Doesn't matter though. Doesn't transform again. Still wins.
So did it matter?
Okay. Playing with fire. And
Scary.
He's able to have fun.
The best part is now he gets to say that he didn't win with Ninja Assassin because you go to the end screen.
Technically, he did because